Welcome to a replay of the Waffle House Hang. We have just watched the New Kids Q&A, the stream of the concert from Philadelphia, and we also watched a documentary about the making of the tour. So now let's talk about it. Just gonna wait as people join in. Hello, everyone. Please sit tight, everybody who's watching. I am also going to find my co-host, Ashley. Ashley, if you're here, I know you went to go get a little drink of water for yourselves. Please let me know if you are around. Oh boy. Hi, Liz. Oh boy, there are a lot of people coming in here. Nothing to be afraid of, though. Hi, Shanna. All right, let's see. Ashley, hopefully you got your water. Gonna look for you. There we go. Okay, I know Sarah has just finished work, and I don't think she's been able to watch everything, but did everybody else who's watching get to watch the Q&A and the concert and the documentary? Let me know. I just finished up the documentary myself. Coming straight from a day of mixtape memories, honestly. What a day. I didn't expect to be like so in my feels. Like I saw my friend Sandra just said the same thing too. But like all the memories started coming back, and then I had to find my the glasses that I got. You can see my ring light in the reflection, but I got these glasses from the St. Louis concert. Donnie threw them, and I picked them up off the floor. Go me. All right, Ashley. Looking for Ashley, and of course my dog has started to whimper because that's what we do. I wanted to ask people, since one of the questions in the Q&A was if you were to make a mixtape, like an 80s mixtape, what would be on your 80s mixtape? I think for me, mine would definitely have New Kids on the Block, as well as New Order, Depeche Mode, Some Erasure, definitely Tears for Fears. Let me know who would be on your 80s mixtape. In the meantime, gonna look for Ashley again, because you know what? We have some guests coming in who are in Europe, and it's really late where they are, so we're gonna try to keep this tight. We're gonna try to keep this right. Hello, Ashley. How are you doing? I like how we're both rocking the buns today.
Yeah. Well, I had my hair down, and then like throughout the whole day, I was like pulling on my hair, like, oh my god. So,
wait, were you pulling on your hair because like you couldn't control like your emotions?
A little bit.
At all this like mixtape memories. Ashley, honestly, you were gonna make a mixtape. But...
Oh, sorry.
Go for it.
No, I was just gonna say
Hello.
Oh, I'm here. I was not expecting. I wasn't expecting the DC content
at the end. Yeah. At the end,
a little emotional.
That's what it sounds like. Yeah, nice. That was a nice touch. As if it wasn't as if that moment wasn't already emotional enough. Having been there live, but to see it again, it was just like, oh my gosh.
Yeah,
it was a nice added touch. So kudos to.
I agree.
I'm sure it was Donnie who made that doc. So are we ready? Because we have some guests who are joining, and it's really, really late where they are. So shall we bring them in?
Yeah, please. Let's get them here so they can tell us their stuff.
Yes. Okay.
Before it's too late.
Yeah. Okay. Oh gosh. Okay.
I'm so excited to hear from everyone what they thought too. It's so fun to do this like directly after and get the live feeling.
Yep. Just like in the moment. Hi.
Oh.
I think you might have to turn your
oh no
camera around.
Around? Oh. See?
Yeah.
Hi, Melanie. Hi, Ashley.
Hi, girl.
Hi. So, just in case people haven't met you, we are joined by Iris. Which one? Listen, which Iris? Yes, and Kat.
Yes, that's
Hello.
me.
And
hello.
You guys are joining us from where?
Europe, Germany.
Oh wow! I'm so excited. We've been wanting to have some European fans in the lives for ages, but I mean, you're in a different time zone. It's a lot later for you when we typically start. So doing this afternoon, well, it's afternoon for us right now, is just perfect. But it is really late where you are, so let's just jump right into it, okay?
Okay.
Okay. So, how many concerts? You guys went to a few concerts this year, didn't you? Or last year, 2022?
Last year, yeah, we did. We did
together.
Yeah. So
Which ones
for
did
us,
you go to?
we only went to 4 concerts. Well,
Okay.
still, it's fine. We went to Milwaukee
And Rapid.
and to both Chicago shows. Yeah.
Okay.
So that's what we did. Yeah.
And was that in one trip? Like you did, they were all kind of back to back?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. Got it. Ashley, do you want to?
Yeah. So you went to concerts this year, but you also had kind of a cool element of the cruise, which we talked about on our live with Donnie. So do you want to tell everyone what was that memorable moment?
Well, for us,
Yes.
for us, it wasn't anything really special. We weren't aware that it was, that anyone would really notice. So we brought some confetti cannons with us, right? And we did that the cruise before already, and we thought no one really noticed. But this time, somehow Donnie noticed, and yeah, we brought them. We had them on our luggage, and we weren't even sure we were allowed to do that. But yeah, we were happy to see that he noticed them and he liked it. So yeah, that's what we always do. We always bring confetti and glitter and all that. Yeah.
Well, I definitely remember seeing you guys on the boat, especially when you were wearing the matching sequins dresses with the German flag.
You see? Yeah, the German flag. Yeah, we had the German flag. We always got glitter on. Yeah.
Okay.
And for anybody who wasn't there, like a while back in one of our earlier lives, when Johnny, I'm there too.
It's been a long day.
When Johnny joined us, he mentioned, he was like, oh my God, there were people on the boat with confetti cannons. And he was talking about you guys. There were a couple of other fans too who were doing similar.
Yeah.
But he was definitely talking about you for sure.
Yeah, but I think it's just because you remembered us. I mean, you said it was a German girl, so yeah, we were really happy you noticed us because we weren't really aware that anyone really noticed. We were kind of when we pulled them, it was quite loud, right? And we were kind of afraid someone would notice it was us, so we were kind of trying to hide because it was so loud. And then afterwards we were happy. Yeah.
Well, you know what? It was a really nice effect, and I appreciate your adding to the moment and enhancing the moment with the confetti cannons. It really
Thank you very much.
Yeah,
Thank you.
So you guys, go ahead.
Yeah, sorry. I feel like from the acknowledgement of the confetti cannons, that next cruise, it's a confetti blizzard
all over the place. Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. Hopefully Rose Tours is okay with it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you have, just like I'm assuming everybody who's watching right now, you've just watched the concert. Did you have to go to any? You did go to concerts. You went to 4 this year. So what were you most surprised about watching the concert replay? Was there anything that you found surprising? Maybe you didn't know about before?
No, not really surprising, but it was really nice watching it again.
Yeah.
After all these years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, after 3 years of COVID, we all, weren't able to travel. It was so great meeting all those people again. We already knew and we made new friends. So, and then when they started, we were just talking about it when they were like starting the concert with Block Party. It felt we had like goosebumps all over the body because I mean, Block Party is so special to everyone. Yeah. So that was the perfect song to start the concert, right? To open it. Yeah. That was what we just realized. Yeah.
Yeah. That's right.
Yeah. So was there anything you were like getting just now?
I was going to say, like, at least for my favorite part of the concert film, and the concert itself was just the opening, and the video starts, and there's a part of me that's just kind of like, why is it so long? Just get over, like it really builds the excitement, and I think it's just like really cool because it has like that video game like 80s retro look to it. I just loved the opening and then leading into Block Party.
Right.
What about you,
It,
Ashley?
well, it kind of felt like that beginning with the little characters, like pick your player. It was so into like we all have like I'm a Joe girl, I'm a Donnie girl, like we pick our player, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I
Yeah.
thought that was super cute. And then just kind of knowing that this is the last time, it's not the last time we'll see it, but this was like a here this is, it's done, and we'll see something completely different next time was kind of special.
I'm also a fan of John's like dance move during remix,
Yeah.
so it was fun to see
Yeah.
that again. I'd always look forward to it in the concert.
And he's still kind of shy while doing it, right? I mean, he's kind of ashamed to do that, but he did it because he had to. Yeah, that was so cute. Yeah.
I do wonder if they told John they were filming this for a documentary type thing, because he was on every second, and I was having so much fun watching him. That's my favorite part. Just watching on.
He's
So,
just too cute. Yeah.
so since you guys live in Germany, maybe you can relate. You can probably relate to this, but unfortunately, we all can't attend all of the New Kids events, right,
Yeah.
for various
Yeah.
reasons. So, how do you deal with that? How do you cope with it, like having to sit some of these things out?
Well, of course it's sad. I mean, I think we all can relate to that, right? But we always try to tell ourselves, because we know a lot of people who can't even attend one concert or go to the US and see the guys. So we always try to remind us how blessed we are being able to go to the US and, travel around the world, and do 4 concerts, which is a lot for a lot of people over here. So yeah, it's always important to remind yourself how blessed you are. It sounds corny, but that's really what we do. And yeah,
And it's so simple, right? It's not
it
this quick, but
is.
it's
It is.
simple, but it's
Yeah.
true, and it's
Yeah.
something we do have to remind ourselves for sure.
We often pinch ourselves, that even, after 30 years, we're all still here, being able to meet the guys. I mean, even to do a meet and greet. I remember in 2014, I did my first meet and greet, and I was like, okay, I'm just gonna do this once, and then, I could die.
Famous last words.
But then we
Yeah.
kind of got addicted to it, and then now we're like doing it over and over again. And still, I still act like a 12-year-old girl when I meet Joe. I'm all done, although we practiced a lot. Yeah, so it's very important, I guess, to remind ourselves and to talk about it. Not just tell yourself, but to talk to each other and be aware. Yeah, sounds corny, but that's what we do.
It's so true that a lot of us, I mean, even people who live in the States, like getting
Yeah,
to
right.
shows, we should be so thankful that after 35, Dottie said in the documentary, over 40 years, we can see them at all.
Yeah.
And we can meet each other through them is
Yeah.
very,
It's such a gift. Yeah.
it's not corny.
No.
Okay, good. I mean, I remember we met 2 girls. We had like barstool tickets. Was this tour? No, the tour before. There were like 2 American girls sitting beside us, and they were like, "Oh yeah, we know you guys. We saw you on Instagram. You're those Die Hard fans." And we were like, "Die Hard? No way, right?" We didn't feel like that. But they said, "Well, this is our only concert, and we didn't do any concerts in the last 20 years." I mean, and they kind of seem to have followed us on Instagram, and so that's the perspective you choose. For them, we were like so spoiled, and to us it was so normal, and that was just one of those moments that reminded us that how special it still is. Although we know people who, I don't know, do like 20 concerts. Yeah, it's always, important to.
So during the summer when they were on tour, would you ever watch like any people's like lives when they went live from the concerts, or any like YouTube videos? Would you keep on top of the rest of the tour that way?
Did you?
No.
No,
No.
me neither.
I'm always sure I'd be able to bear that.
I'm always sad when I leave, and I can't even watch too
It's
many
very hard.
cruise videos. I'm always sad when it's over, and I try to focus on the next event.
Yeah.
Right? That's the same with you, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So we're waiting for the next cruise announcement to prepare and get ready.
And actually, there's I don't know if is it Moni? I know her real name is
Yeah,
like Monica.
Moni.
She's
Moni.
been to like 90
I
concerts,
know.
I
I
think.
know. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because she made a post about it recently. It's like, oh my God, when you like, I want to be at your 100th concert, which is not that far away. So Moni,
It's a lot.
please correct me. Let us know in the chat how many concerts, how many New Kids concerts you've been to, or
She
if I'm
always
blowing your
tells
cover.
she always tells me, when like now that Joe had this Los Angeles gig, right? I was thinking about going there and I wasn't sure, and then she posted something and I asked her, so should I go? And she said, well, yes is always the answer. You know me.
Yeah.
So she made me go. Yeah,
Oh, you went to LA too?
I did. Yeah, I don't know how that happened to me.
Yeah,
Wow.
And it was super spontaneous, and when I saw the prices for the flight, I thought I'd completely lost my mind finally, right? So I went there. I went there on Friday and I went back on Monday, and I felt like I was broke when I
I was
got
gonna
back.
say, it's all a blur.
Yeah. So
Wow.
even at the immigration, the guy, he didn't believe me. I was gonna go there just from Friday to Monday, and he wanted to see the ticket, and he checked everything. Yeah. So yeah, but she kind of made me go. She confirmed that it's right to go. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, well, I guess year before last, my friend and I, we went to LA, oh my gosh, to Vegas to see Joe, and we were there for 24 hours, and I'm coming from Canada, so as well
Okay.
too, they were just kind of like, you went to Las Vegas for less than 24 hours, and they were,
Oh my
my friend
God.
and I are just we might be slightly worried that we're on some kind of watch list.
Yeah,
We think
yeah,
about these like
that's what
short
I was
trips.
thinking. Probably, yeah. So how long is the flight from Toronto to Las Vegas?
I don't, I think it was like 5 hours, I
Okay,
think. Yeah.
good. Okay.
Direct flights. I'm hoping so in the Q&A beforehand tonight, Jared was saying they have a lot of stuff planned, and I would love for a Vegas residency again, like just a quick 2-week thing, because I have a 2-hour direct flight from my hometown. I could literally take a 15-minute Uber to the airport. 2 hours later, I'm in Las Vegas.
Wow.
Praying for that. I was like, I
Yeah,
will have.
you should.
So you've got
Oh,
all the logistics worked out, right? You just need them to just book it already, right?
Yeah.
yeah.
I'm gonna start booking like random flights to Las Vegas, so I just happen to be there. When they announce it, I'm already there.
I like that approach. So, just getting back to the cruise for a second, we've been asking everybody, what is your dream theme? Each one of you. Uh-oh, you guys have got like
No,
this
no,
evil look.
no. I
Just
have
say it.
no, I have no special dream theme. No,
No?
no,
Okay.
no. There's nothing.
Well, I think
Yeah. Okay.
it's we both love to be creative, and we
Yeah.
Yeah.
both just love prepping the cruise. So I think we're quite open for all
Yeah.
themes. I missed Cowboy Night, and I saw some videos on YouTube, and I was like, okay, if they do Cowboy Night, okay, I'll be fine with it. So I mean, I would love to see them in their costumes, the guys in their costumes again.
Yeah.
But still, I don't mind. It's just everything they do, we just add some glitter,
Yeah.
and then
And you make
we're
it
there.
work.
Yeah.
Do you usually make your costumes?
Well, I think
Ja, ob du sie selbst machst.
I'm gonna translate.
No, was heißt half and half? It's half and half.
Oh,
We
okay.
we buy some stuff and then we decorate them or
Yeah.
was heißt denn?
We pimp
Yes,
we pimp
yes,
stuff from
yes,
Amazon.
yeah.
Amazon, yeah.
But I can sew.
Yeah.
I have my
Oh,
sewing machine and yeah,
Yeah, we both
I could do it.
and we
okay.
both have a plotter, so we can always
Mhm.
add some,
You
writing
have what?
text to it. The plotter machine, you
Oh,
can
okay.
like put, you put some text on stuff, and I
Okay.
always put Gimme Mag, and always some Joe stuff. I always have to pimp stuff,
Yeah.
and I think I often put too much effort into, the small details, and then when I'm on the cruise, I'm like, okay, no one's really going to see it. No one's really noticing it, just yourself. So afterwards, I
Yeah.
always think it was too much time I put into it. Yeah, but that's
Do you
what we
ever
do.
learn? you ever learn and actually like?
I don't think so.
No.
He always reminds me to stop it, but I don't. Yeah, but we always try to, kind of look alike, to match. Yeah.
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 I think that, part of the fun of the experience of the cruise is making your costumes and getting like, immersed in that, to whatever degree you want to. But like for a couple of my outfits, a friend of mine who's not a blockhead helped me because she can sew. And we spent a lot of time just like, crafting, eating, watching TV, talking. It was a fun way to spend time together, right?
Yes,
Yes,
and
that's
she
right.
also enjoyed it probably, right? She enjoyed the time and was
Yeah,
getting excited with you,
for
together with
sure.
you.
Yeah,
Ah,
yeah,
that's
yeah.
cool.
And it's nice to
Boston,
tap into that creative side that don't typically get to.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Boston Laura said Confetti Cat is being too modest. She is so creative, making shirts and headbands and jewelry.
Kurz nicht verstanden. Warte.
Being modest, you're not taking enough credit for your creativity.
Oh, thank you. It was kind of frozen for us, so we didn't really get what we were saying. Yeah.
Thank you.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I always have those. I now remember that I often have those, always have those big headbands and it says Joey or Gimme Mac on it. And I always feel like a complete weirdo. But then once you're on the cruise, you notice that like everyone's getting kind of crazy, right? So yeah,
Very much.
he's not doing that.
No, she's always kind of laughing at me. No, that's not so. No,
So
no.
what are you guys most looking forward to as a blockhead in 2023? They've hinted at a lot of things coming down the pike. Anything in particular?
Yeah. So I'm a Danny girl.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I've never, yeah, I've never seen him solo. So
Okay.
I would like prefer a solo.
Oh,
Yes.
okay. I mean, like he had hinted at that a couple of years back. I feel like he's been working on some new music, right? Just waiting for
Yep.
the right opportunity to release it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Hopefully
Yeah.
it's this year.
Yeah.
Hopefully. Yeah. And you? And you?
Well, for me, it's always Joe shows I'm looking forward to, but I mean, I can't attend all of them.
Right.
Even like next week's gonna be very hard for me because I'll be here in Germany and everyone's gonna be at Carnegie Hall or Mohegan Sun. But maybe there's gonna be something else for me in the summer or in the spring, maybe a musical or something, yeah. But as I said, we're waiting for the cruise announcement to get ready and prepare so we can have something to look forward to, right? Yeah.
You guys have, now you have a reputation of, having the sequence, German dresses, plus also the confetti. So, the confetti cannon. So good luck topping all of that.
Yeah, it's gonna be hard.
Yeah, very hard.
Yeah.
We'll see. We'll make something up. Yeah.
Yeah.
Ashley, did
Yeah,
you have
and-
any other questions? Because I'm all out.
No, that's really it. I mean, I think it's so great that you could join us, and we really appreciate it. We've been talking for weeks about having European blockheads join us, and obviously it being a little earlier for us, late for you, but we're glad that you guys could be here. Very
Thank you
appreciative.
for having us. Thank you
Thank
so
you.
much for having us.
Thank
And we're kind of
you.
nervous, but you made us feel good, feel
Yeah.
comfortable. Thank you so
Okay.
much.
Yeah, you take care. Thanks so much for joining us, and we will talk to you later. And definitely see you on
We'll
the
see
cruise.
you on the cruise, hopefully.
Yes,
Yes.
definitely.
Yeah,
All right.
bye.
Take care. Bye.
Bye.
Let's see. I'll take the note.
Then
All
you can stop.
righty.
Trying to figure out what time it is there. It's like it's midnight.
Yeah, it's really late.
There's 7 hours ahead. So
Well, I think
7 hours.
7 hours away from you. Okay. Oh boy. Okay. Somebody in the chat asked, and I was also curious, did anybody see themselves in the concert today? Anybody who went to the Philadelphia concert, did you see yourself in the film? In the meantime, I'm going to bring in Lynn because it's also probably getting ready
late
for
there, too.
bedtime. Oh wait, hold on. There we go. Oh,
I didn't see anyone I knew in the live footage, or the footage from tonight, but I did like every time I'd see someone who it was very clear they were on camera, I was like, oh my gosh, can you imagine being them and watching this live and seeing themselves? I would freak out.
I would freak out too. Hi, Lynn.
Hi, Lynn.
Uh-oh, camera.
Oh no.
She'll
Welcome
come
to
back.
Instagram.
Oh boy. Okay. Happy is on my is on my lap wanting attention. Okay. In the meantime, Ashley, who would be in your 80s mixtape?
Okay. So I not necessarily 80s mixtape, but I threw around a couple ideas today. I think that a Spice Girls New Kids on the Block collab concert would be insane. You've got the guys, you've got the girl power, like it would be top notch. But I think that also Spice Girls at this point, if they're going to do a tour, they're the headliner, so it's probably not going to happen.
Yeah, like New Kids and Spice Girls will have to duke it out for who gets to go on first. Hi, Lynn.
But can you imagine
Oh,
the
sorry.
That's okay, no problem. Everyone, this is Lynn. And Lynn, where are you joining us from?
From Cambridge in the UK.
Your audio is a little spotty. Are you having?
Okay, hold on. Let me take my headset out.
Okay.
Oh, you're learning with us. We're learning how to do
better.
Instagram lives right now. So
Say something. Just where are you coming? Where are you joining us from, Lynn?
From Cambridge in the UK.
Sounds much better.
Yep.
You sound great. Thank you. Thank you for joining us again. It's super late, so we will cut right to the chase. I know you didn't get to attend any of the tour dates or the cruise this year. So this is like your first time kind of like taking in the concert like in full effect, like not on somebody's live, not on somebody's like shaky YouTube. So what were some of your highlights of the concert?
Well, the whole thing was amazing.
Yeah.
I'd say particular highlights were just the opening. I thought was really good.
Yeah.
The D Nice set I thought was really good, and obviously the Twisted Sweet Dreams mix.
Oh yeah.
Liked that. How they they put a new twist on some of the classics, like the different way that they did like the remix and kind of Right Stuff and Please Don't Go Girl, putting the kind of the new twist on it as well, I thought was fab.
Yeah, kind of freshening it up a bit for us.
Yeah.
Did you like the throwbacks when they would show the old videos for like Right Stuff and Please Don't Go Girl? Yeah. That was a definite favorite moment of mine. It gets me a little like choked up a bit.
And it was like, oh my god.
I know, they're so young. We're so old.
That's supposed to be like, yeah, I remember.
I feel like especially seeing Joe, because like he was a child, like a full-on child back then. It just goes to show like, how long they've been at it, and it's really touching.
I know, it's scary, isn't it?
Yeah, and scary too. Yeah. Was there anything in the concert that you were maybe a little bit surprised by? Like pleasantly surprised by?
Well, I'd heard about it, but the Donnie rap on Sheep I thought was really good. Being a Donnie girl, that was an extra little treat.
Yeah, the wardrobe also helps too.
Yeah, the wardrobe.
Plus him coming out with his shirt off and just the like jacket over. He knew what he was doing.
Yeah.
So you've seen New Kids a lot in the past live, and on cruises. So you went to the UK show, or you've seen them at the UK.
Sorry, it was the UK. It was intimate, right? Wasn't it a UK intimate tour?
Yeah, it was called the Intimate Tour. Yeah.
Okay.
So what was that like?
It was really interesting actually, because it was a lot smaller venues, which was really so it was interesting seeing them in a kind of more pared down show. I think what was really interesting was the front row was literally you were against this. I didn't get front row sadly, but literally it was against the stage.
Right. And it was probably
Wow.
like a low stage as well, right?
Yeah. Yeah. And the second night we went in London, Joe at the end actually would like called us. We were about fifth row, and Joe actually called us forward to kind of shake hands and stuff at the end of the show. And we were just like, "What? We're being called?"
Wow.
Okay.
So how many dates were in that intimate tour? Do you know? Around?
I don't know off the top of my head. I only got to do the 2 in London of that tour. I know in the UK, obviously Europe as well.
Was it very, very hard to get tickets for that, given they were much pared down?
It wasn't
venues?
too bad.
Okay.
It wasn't too bad, but I think probably, fingers crossed, next time they come this way, it probably would be more difficult because more people have heard about them and would then want to get. Because some people I've spoken to are like, "Oh my god, if I'd have known they were coming, I'd have been there."
They would have gone, right?
Yeah.
That
So
would be a dream.
in all of our lives.
Oh, sorry.
Oh, no, you go ahead, Ashley. You're lagging a little bit though.
Okay. I've never been to England, Britain. I've never been anywhere overseas for myself. But if they were to do like a London show, I think I would book that. Like that seems like a huge deal. Plus the fact that they haven't done it in how many, I mean, when was the last time they were even over there? Seems like a really, it's almost like Hawaii when they went to Hawaii this year and did their shows. It's an experience. And how fun, like I want your perspective on if they did a show over there and you were able to go, what would be something you'd want us as Americans, North Americans, South Americans, we get over there, what's something that you would tell us that we have to do while we're there?
Ooh. London, I would say, I'm trying to think. London dungeons are quite cool. Just go and walk around, see the sights, just make the most of it. There's so much to do, and kind of try and go further out as well. Like, I live in Cambridge, which has got a lot of history, and it's like a 45-minute train journey. So there's a lot of other places that you can go to as well. So I'd say kind of.
A friend of mine was just studying in Cambridge University.
Sorry?
A friend of mine was studying at Cambridge University.
Oh,
recently.
wow.
Yeah. Oh, and she would do TikToks about it, and it just looks so beautiful. Like really out of another era, out of another time.
It is, yeah, we are lucky. I don't think I quite appreciate it until you see it through someone else's eyes. And you're like, oh, actually, yeah, I'm quite lucky.
I've been to London a couple of times, and like I did get out once to Brighton, and that was cool.
Mm-hmm.
Like the seaside and beach.
Not quite as nice as your coast, but yeah.
Sorry?
It's not quite as nice as some of the American coast, but it's not bad.
No, it's different. It's different, right? It's like rocky beaches, I think, right? And it's a little colder. Yeah.
Yeah.
Very windy.
Sounds about right in the UK, yeah.
So what, thinking back to all of your Blockhead experiences, what's been your most legendary moment, or one of your most legendary moments as a Blockhead?
I would probably say getting to go and see them actually perform in Boston at home.
Okay.
And just like that whole experience. And I don't know, it just felt different. It's weird to explain, but it just felt different, kind of seeing them there and just kind of the emotion of the night and everything. It was amazing.
Was that at one of the Fenway shows or at one of the other venues?
No, it was the last mixtape tour, so 2019 at TD Gardens.
At TD Gardens, okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
Another one would be on the cruise. Donnie actually asked me for a selfie, which was hilarious. Yeah,
well, and did you give in? Did you allow him to have a selfie with you?
Comes around and tries to do selfies with everyone, and he's like, "Oh no, you've already got a selfie set back." So I was like, "Okay." I was lucky enough to get a selfie in Half Moon case. I was like, "Okay, I will listen. I'll step back." I was like, and then he came back and went, "Nan, I want another selfie with you." I was like, "Oh, okay." Almost kind of passed out. But
That's
yeah,
really sweet.
That is the dream, to be asked by Donnie Wahlberg to do a selfie. That's pretty incredible.
Yeah.
And you were so generous that you gave it to him.
Oh,
sure.
Well, okay, if you must.
So like we asked with Kat and Iris, unfortunately we can't all attend all of the New Kids events. You have some recent experience with this last year. How do you cope with having to sit out some of the events?
Yeah, you do get sad and kind of do miss kind of the experience and getting to meet the people and see them. But I think it is kind of, you get the people doing the lives, you get the YouTube videos, so you kind of have to try and kind of live vicariously.
Yeah.
And also kind of just try and remember kind of the times I have been lucky enough to kind of go and see them and go on the cruise. So it's like, I have been lucky to have that chance. So just kind of try and think back to that as well and be like, it's okay. And then
I guess focus on the positive, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Wow. Oh boy. And
That's
what?
So
you go for it.
Go ahead.
No, you go.
I would say, what out of all, you've had so many experiences with New Kids over the years, what is your one like legendary moment?
I think she told us that.
What was that, Donnie?
I'd probably say the Boston show and
The
Donnie.
Boston show.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay, yeah, I'm sorry. Guys, it's been like 4 hours of New Kids, which is, thank God. When was the last time we had this other than the cruise? But it is what it is. Okay, so let me ask you this. With all the cruises and everything, what is your theme night that you would love to see?
I'd quite like them to bring Toga Night back. I think.
Oh, that's a good.
I do like Toga Night, and I think the idea that's been on here before, that Night of 1,000 Blockheads, I think that's a really good one.
It's going to be a thing. It's going to be a thing for sure. What do you typically? What's your GPS costume typically look like? What does it consist of?
Okay, typically it is a Union Jack tutu.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Then it's a white vest top with a glittery Union Jack on it.
Okay.
Union Jack bunny ears.
Okay, it's just Union Jacks everywhere. Yeah, makes sense. It really makes sense. So, what's the blockhead scene in Cambridge? Like, do you get the opportunity to meet up with other blockheads?
Not in Cambridge.
No.
Kind of through shows and on the cruise I've met friends from kind of London and Liverpool and Manchester, so kind of we keep in touch and try and meet up or kind of.
So you are able to meet up with them every once in a while?
Or something like that. So yeah, we try and keep in touch that way.
Sorry, can you say that one more time?
We try and kind of do FaceTimes when they're doing like a YouTube live stream or like a concert, something like that. So we'll kind of try and arrange to meet up in person.
Oh, that's nice.
Catch up and try and hatch plans and plot and think, okay, what are they doing next? What can we go to? How can we make it happen?
Really, like the majority of those in-person meetups are a lot of plotting, right? And hatching plans. Yeah.
Exactly.
So true. Hi, Emma. Emma is in Ireland in the chat right now.
Hi.
Quite a few. Emma is here, and then Savvy is here, and
yep,
very excited. So what time is it there with you right now?
It is 7 minutes past 11 in the evening.
Okay. Oh boy.
Oh wow.
Okay. One more question then. What are you most looking forward to being a blockhead in 2023?
Cruise.
Yeah.
And hopefully, even if it's not this year, just some kind of hope that they might come over this side of the pond at some point would be lovely.
Yeah. Well, I hope that's the case for you guys, because that would be.
It's been a while.
It's been a while, and I know I could use a trip over there. It's been a while too.
I would love to get on a plane. Like I said, never been overseas, and that would be kind of like, not that I need a reason, but that would be a really cool reason, and also to meet blockheads from overseas. Like, I think that would be such a cool experience.
Yeah, exactly. That was like going over to Boston. It was like getting to see Boston and kind of look around there, as well as getting kind of concert. It was amazing. 2 in 1.
So you were on the Remember Betty event last night, correct?
Yeah.
Okay. So I have a very quick question about that for you. And that's not in our notes or previous question, but what was a moment from last night that really resonated with you or that you thought was a cool conversation?
I think it was just generally like how open they were and like telling us so much kind of personal stuff as well. I thought that was amazing. I think a moment that stood out for me was when they were, I can't remember what the question was, whether it was something they really remember. And I remember Brett just getting really emotional and Bethany and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And that just made me go as well. I just, oh my word.
And I just remember seeing
Brett off
your little
one
corner and being, oh my gosh.
Sorry?
I just remember seeing your little picture in the corner and being like, hi, how are you? But so everyone who's watching who doesn't know, last night was a Remember Betty event. It was Betty's birthday. And so that was where seeing Danny's brother, Brett, got really emotional at one point about stories about their mom. And they all got emotional. I think that's the great thing about this community is we can be so vulnerable, and to see them be so vulnerable with us is really special. It was nice to see you there.
Them to be kind of that open and honest, it was very special.
It was a great night.
It was, yeah. I felt really lucky to manage to be a part of it.
Well, it's been quite the weekend for all of us. And Lynn, we will let you go because you need. I'm assuming you need to get to bed because you probably have to get up in a few hours. So thank you so much for staying up late to chat with us. We really appreciate it, and we look forward to meeting you and chatting with you some more.
Hopefully, fingers
another
crossed.
time. Yeah, fingers crossed. Okay, you take care.
All right, see you later, ladies.
Okay, bye. Okay.
How fun from all over the world have been part of this. Say that again? It's so cool that like people from all over the world have been part of these lives over the months. It's long.
It's been like 2 months.
No. What day is it? What month is it?
Johnny, you know, my favorite new kid, Johnny. Oh my God.
Johnny, yeah.
You know what? I've just got the Sunday scaries, right? The Sunday scaries, going back to work tomorrow. It's just like, oh my God. Even though I'm going to New York midweek and I'm just kind of like, oh my God, thinking about all the things that I need to do and looking forward to it.
I had some friends over today to watch everything, you know, kind of as it was going live.
Yeah.
And we all were like, I mean, like New York's, that'd be a quick trip. We could get, we were all trying to talk ourselves out of it today.
I didn't book my flight until last Sunday. And my friend and I, we were looking at, and there were just so many flight options. We're just like, it's so overwhelming because there's a flight that leaves every hour. So New York is, I always say New York is always a good idea.
It's a beautiful city.
Yeah. Okay, for everybody else who's watching in the chat, we wanted to open it up to invite anybody who wants to come in, appear on screen, and talk to us about their take on the concert and the documentary. We have 2 questions.
So fun.
Sorry?
It was so fun.
It was. So let's see if other people are willing to come in here and talk about their take on it. We have 2 questions, okay? First question, what was your favorite part of the concert film? And then second part, from the documentary, what was your hot doc takeaway? So what was like a piece of information that you learned or something interesting about the making of the tour that you didn't know before this? Mm-hmm. So if anybody is willing and interested to come in, please request to join and then we will bring you up.
So
go for it.
I want to share real quick. The one thing on the doc that I did not know was Lorianne Gibson is the choreographer for Salt and Peppa. If you don't know who she is, she's worked with P. Diddy, Puff Daddy. She was making the band. She was the choreographer.
Was she a Fly Girl?
I believe so.
Yeah.
She's Canadian.
What?
Yeah.
Oh boy, okay.
I don't know where she's from, but she's toured with Michael Jackson, Janet Jackson. Like, she's a big deal. So when all of a sudden they were like, oh, well, Lorianne Gibson, like throwing her name out, I was like, Lorianne Gibson was part of this tour, I freaked out. I was so excited.
I'm looking her
Okay.
up. She's Canadian. Hey, girl. She's from Toronto. Hey. Love
yeah,
it.
Toronto.
Okay, you guys, does anybody want to come in and talk to us about their favorite moment from the concert stream and one of their hot dog takeaways, something that they learned or they found interesting about the tour that they didn't know before this? I took a couple of notes as well, too, and I thought it was really cool to see Joe practicing his choreography during Please Don't Go Girl. Like, I didn't realize that it was that, well, not calculated, that doesn't sound right, but you know what I mean? That, you know, they were so choreographed and that was so planned.
I loved that because I think if I had my own personal gym in my house, I would probably be doing anything regardless of going to tour. I'd just be like prancing around and twirling and stuff. Like, I'd be Britney Spears all day, like just twirling and twirling. But yeah, I thought that was really cool. I thought hearing about the costumes and how they come up with the costumes was really neat. Like,
and the inspiration pictures.
Yes.
Oh, you know what? We have. Oh, Emma. Emma is requesting to join. I'm going to bring her up. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Go. Emma.
Maybe. There we go.
There she is. Hi, Emma.
Hi. Hi.
How are you?
I'm good, thank you. I had a really nice day with all the New Kids on the Block stuff. Yeah.
Yeah. And what time is it where you are? It's probably also 11?
Yeah, it's nearly 11:15, yeah.
Oh boy.
Wow.
Another late night, but you were like, you knew about this ahead of time. You knew it was going to be a late one, right?
Yeah, I did, yeah.
So I know that you also didn't, you weren't able to take in the tour or go to the cruise. Like, have you seen New Kids live yet at all?
No.
No, not yet. Not yet. Maybe, hopefully 2023 is your year. But in the meantime, you watched the documentary, right? Like, you watched the concert video. So
Yeah.
what was your favorite part?
My favorite part of the concert is their entrance and the D-Nice set, and near the end where they do Push It and Salt and Pepper come out and stuff like that. And the documentary, I don't really have a favorite part. The whole idea of a tour being put together just fascinates me, like I've said for years. And I'd love to just like go to a band's day and see what they do and how the process is done. So I just found it really fascinating and really interesting. And like Joe dancing in his gym to practice for Please Don't Go Girl, like that was good too. Yeah.
It was fun to see how they kind of sorted out the pyramid, that moment too.
I thought
I
you
didn't
could
realize
fall.
there was a box underneath there.
No, neither did I, no.
The box the first time and being like, oh, what is on here? And they lofted him up like it was beautiful.
Yeah. So, Emma, what are you looking forward to being a Blockhead in 2023?
I'm looking forward to all their little celebrations that they announced on the Q&A. I hope there's a bit more virtual stuff, like so international Blockheads can get included.
Right.
I'm just looking forward to maybe new music.
Yeah.
Everything really. I'd love for them to come over here, but they're not going to do that in 2023. So fingers crossed, maybe 2024. Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah. Wow. Well, you know what? We need to get you to see them live for sure as soon as possible. And when that happens, I'm going to be really excited for you.
Oh, trust me, I'll be excited too. Yeah.
Yeah.
The minute I see announcements saying New Kids on the Block are coming to Dublin or coming to Belfast, I am going to jump out of my skin.
Yeah.
Or even the UK. Or even the UK, dude. That's the next closest option to me. So
Would you be able to travel within the UK if you need to, do you think?
Well, I would get a flight over and try and find the nearest hotel to the arena, basically, and walk.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
That's
Yeah,
what I
that's
do.
part of part of the joy of traveling to see new kids is all the strategizing behind the scenes and
Yeah.
all the logistics that need to go into it, like finding a hotel and its distance from the venue and making sure that it's in an okay neighborhood as well.
Well, I've done it for years here in Ireland anyway, going to gigs. I go to gigs on my own here, so I always
Yeah.
find a hotel in walking distance so I don't have to pay for a taxi or.
Right. Yeah.
And I stay with the crowd. Yeah.
Carla has hashtag get Emma to a show.
Thank you, Cara. Send that to Donnie, please.
Well, thank you so much for jumping in, Emma. It was nice to chat with you.
You
and thank you
too.
for always watching the lives as well too. I know it's really late for you, and I know you typically watch the replays, and I really appreciate your supporting us that way.
Of course, I love hearing everyone's stories about their interactions with the guys or their time on the cruise or everything. Like, I love hearing it. Like, it just makes me feel a part of the fandom, and even though I can't go to these things yet, it just makes me feel like I was a part of it and that I can enjoy somebody else's happiness and clap for them. So
That's so wonderful.
Yeah, thank you. All right, I'm gonna let you go, and I'm gonna bring in somebody else. All right?
Okay, thanks.
Thank you,
Thanks for
Emma.
having me on.
Take care.
Bye.
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 Okay, let's see. I think.
I love this.
Yeah, it's oh, look, we have Savvy, somebody else from Ireland who's willing to come up. But yeah, this is really fun, and I'm glad we finally got the chance to do it because our friends in Europe are a really important part of this fandom. All right, let's bring in Savvy.
It's also so easy for us to I'm going to go to 3 or 4 shows and logistically it makes sense. And for a lot of people, it's not possible. So,
Hiya.
Yeah.
Hi, can you hear me?
Yep.
Awesome.
Yep, we can hear you. Hi.
I'm
For those,
loving
can
all
you
the Irish
introduce?
representation.
Love.
It's great.
Can you introduce yourself in case there's anybody who's watching who hasn't met you?
Yeah, of course. I'm Savvy. I live in Ireland. I'm 23, so I'm quite young for a blockhead, but still representing. And I was on the cruise. I've never been to a concert, but obviously the cruise you get to experience a lot with the new kids, so big fan.
Yeah, and you had a couple of epic moments on the cruise. Yeah. Do you want to tell us what are some of your standout moments?
Yeah, well, on the first night, Love Eternal night, Donnie pulled me up on stage. I was the first person on stage on the cruise, and I sang Push It with Donnie and Jordan as my backup dancers, which is still insane to think about. Yeah, I'm like, that's so casual. Everyone does that all the time. And that was amazing. And then being on stage with Jordan and him copying my dance moves, which is so funny. He's my favorite dancer ever, and he's copying me whenever I see a new video, because obviously people are still posting videos from the cruise. I see a new video with me in it, I have to reprocess the whole thing and be there's no way that happened.
Yeah. And you got up on stage another night, didn't you?
Yeah, he at the meet and greet, Donnie turns to me just as I'm walking away from him. He's like, "Oh, you're coming back up on stage tonight, right?" And I was like, "Well, that's up to you, Donnie. I don't get to make that decision." But yeah, he brought me up on stage again, and he brought up my brother, which was really nice as well. So we got to be on stage for the last night.
Oh, that's nice. At least you got some time to process it as well.
Yeah.
Mentally prepare, right?
I mean, I still wasn't very. Because Donnie will say stuff, and you can't always believe him because he'll say anything.
Right. Yeah.
I didn't believe it until I was on that stage.
Yeah.
I actually want to pull up a TikTok of yours. So you and Ashley chat.
I was just say, you said you sang and they danced back up, but you also killed it dancing.
Thank you.
So it wasn't just, the rapping was amazing.
That's your TikTok. Great. That's you.
This is so
side by side.
This is incredible.
Thank you so much. That's so fun. That's my favorite dance ever. I love Jordan's dance during that performance. It's awesome.
How long did it take you to Same question. How long did it take you to learn this?
Well, I just kind of dance along to their concerts and their shows in my living room. My family's like, "Why are you doing this? We want to put on an actual TV show." And I'm like, "No, I'm learning the dance moves." So I just know all of them anyway. So I had known that for 2 years before I actually put on, videoed myself doing it and put it on TikTok. So I don't know. I probably just learned it in an evening, just kind of keep repeating it over and over again and just pick up those moves because it's so much fun. Jordan's moves are always so fun to watch and learn and just figure out like what he's doing with his feet. It's awesome.
Would you ever take up breakdancing?
I kind of like, I did dance when I was younger, but I never got into the like break dance. Like there was always a bit of that like hip hop stuff, and I love that kind of movement myself. The main problem with that is my floor is super squeaky. If I move my feet too much, my mom will be like, stop doing that. Break dancing is a lot of feet moving, but I've been trying to kind of get into a few of those moves. Learn that windmill, that's always something I wanted to know. So maybe this year that'll be something I'll try to do, get more into the breakdancing stuff.
Next crew.
Yeah.
You're going to get up there and spin your butt off.
Be doing a windmill on stage on the cruise.
Yes.
So what was your favorite part of the concert stream tonight?
My favorite part, surprisingly, not very surprisingly, was Push It, but the bit just before the transition into it from Step by Step, because I love that song as well. And it goes like, it's Jordan doing his dance moves, and then Salt and Pepper come on, and the best bit is Donnie and Jordan running up to walk them down the stairs. I love that bit. Like, that's so cute, and that's something that, like, you don't, like, really notice those moments if you're just watching little, like, YouTube videos of it. People kind of post, like, each individual song. So those little in-between moments are so nice to have seen, because obviously I've never been to a concert before. I love those little in-between moments that they had.
That is great.
Oh, boy. Oh, God.
Fun part to
Oh, God.
What?
Donnie's here. Hi, Donnie.
Oh,
Hi, Donnie.
You heard us talking about him as usual.
Yeah.
What I love about the documentary was the behind the scenes part of it, but also seeing like how much thought goes into everything. So like you're saying, even the transitions are so heavily thought out. It's really fun. That was one of my favorite parts of the documentary.
That's something, whenever I go to see any concert, I love like all of the like individual things that like happen that you might not notice, and like all the like visuals behind it. I love knowing what goes into that. Like that's something I'm so interested in. So I love that they made a documentary showing all that, because that's something that I really want to know and like care about. So it's so awesome to see what goes into it, especially a show as awesome and big as this.
And actually, just as you were coming in, Savvy, Ashley, you and I were talking about the wardrobe, right? And like seeing the inspiration shots and like everything, how it came together in all these different boards, and seeing that reimagined and shaped into fitting the new kids. I thought that was pretty cool.
Yeah, I'm a theater geek, so even seeing like you, Melanie, you said Joe practicing in his gym, to the like, lighting design and the all the spotting that they had. I think it's so cool to see behind the scenes. And you go to a concert, you enjoy the concert, but like there's a lot of pieces that go into every aspect of it. And that was literally my favorite part. I said to my friends, I had a bunch of friends over to watch it at my house, and I was like, this to me is the key. It's like, ooh, how did the lights hit? And when the strobe light came down and the microphones, all of it is so fun. Savvy,
something that I noticed too.
Sorry, go ahead.
One more thing. Something that I noticed too during remix was, I don't know what you call it, like the steam, the fog steam. How like during the remix it like went from side to side. Oh, I thought I didn't even notice that at all of the shows. I love how that like synced up with the music.
Yeah. Intense.
Yeah.
So,
very well thought out.
Yes. Thank you, Donnie. So, Savvy, my question is, having not been to a concert and seeing the show from this perspective, was there anything in the show that you were completely surprised about?
I mean, I had seen so many like little YouTube clips of it and stuff, so it wasn't as much like any little moment that I was surprised at, but just like seeing it all come together was lovely, because only those little clips, you don't get like the entire experience. So even just like the big visuals at the beginning, and like all the, you know, the way it like works as a mixtape. That's such an awesome idea, and I just love how they pull it off, where it goes, you know, from person to person, is so cool, you know, like artist to artist. And my mom was watching with me, and she's, you know, she's not like huge into New Kids. Obviously she likes them because I like them, but she was like really getting into it, you know. She was like, okay, no, I love that they're all doing their own thing, but like interacting together and stuff. So it was like just cool to see how they bring it together, and just like the energy that they have when they're all on stage is awesome.
Mm-hmm.
We love a glimpse behind the scenes, right?
Yeah.
Sorry, Ashley, did you have anything else?
Yeah. So what's the next dance we can expect to see you do on TikTok? Or Instagram?
Good.
You know,
what do people want? I know all the New Kids choreography.
Can
so
you
I'm
do
happy.
Jordan's step by step infamous?
This little like the legs.
Yeah, whatever it's called.
Yeah, I like doing that. That one's tricky though. Like that's to get it right, but yeah, and I don't know if I have enough space in my kitchen to film that one, but we can try.
Try it.
I've been thinking of, you know, making up some of my own choreography to some New Kids songs and trying out that. That could be fun, but maybe I'm still a little too shy to do that, but we'll see if that happens this year.
Just do it. If there's anything us TikTok girls have figured out, it's like, just do it. Just get over it, do it, see what happens.
Yeah, so hopefully I get brave enough to make up some of my own choreography.
I think you have Donnie's encouragement in the chat.
Yeah,
I think because he's saying like, we need it, no way. I think that's in reference to more choreography from you. So there you go.
Oh, well, if Donnie wants me to, then I guess I will.
You have to do it, yeah. Well, thank you so much, Sabi, for joining us. As with everybody who's been in the live today over in Europe, we really appreciate your staying up so late and chatting with us.
Thank you. Well, this one's a little earlier, so it's okay. But thank you so much. I love watching these so much. You two are awesome for doing this, and it's so cool to see everyone come on and talk about their experiences. I love hearing everyone have such a good time on the cruise and with this concert. It's amazing. Keep doing this. I love you guys.
Oh, thank you. Love you. Okay. Bye, Sabi.
Bye.
Let's see. Okay. We have a couple. Oh, go ahead, Ashley.
No, I was saying, so Sabi killed it on the cruise, and afterwards it was my favorite, my legendary moment. My sister said last week her legendary moment was dancing Love Eternal Night on the Lido after everyone had left, and it was like 35, 40 of us just like jamming. And Sabi was there, and so her and her brother came and danced with us too. And so I was so grateful to have met her, and she's genuinely a really awesome person. So it was so fun to have her here. Everyone who's been on here has been genuinely awesome though. So
love it. And we have more people. Okay, so Lucy, hopefully she requested to join a long time ago. Okay, so declined. All right. That's no worries, Lucy. Okay, next up, Alyssa. Let's see. Alyssa?
maybe.
Hi, Alyssa. Hi. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm well, thank you. Can you introduce yourself and tell us where you're from and all that good stuff?
Donnie, 10 minutes.
Oh God. Okay.
So
we have to. Lucy, hello. Where are you from?
I'm from Pennsylvania.
Were you at this concert?
Yes, I was.
Yes. Okay. I forgot.
I don't know if any of you guys saw, but there was like at one point there was like a heart sign. It was like, yeah, that was me. That was my sign that I was holding up. So being able to see that was like so crazy to me, and I was so shocked. I didn't think I was going to be able to like see myself like that.
Hold on to your seat, Lucy, because I think things are about to get a little bonkers. Hold on.
Well, okay, so Lucy, real quick while we're transitioning here, how fun was it? You didn't expect to see yourself, right?
No,
so how
not
cool
at
was it
all.
to see yourself on camera?
Hi, Donnie.
Hi.
Hold on. I
10
want to
minutes.
know.
I'm starting the timer right now, okay?
You said that was your hand making the heart at the end?
Yeah. No, it was the heart sign, like the blue heart sign.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh God.
Yeah, that was mine.
That was awesome.
Thank you.
So, Lucy, did you know that the concert was being filmed for the documentary or for the video?
Wait, first of all, I want to say, my name's Alyssa, by the way.
Sorry, I'm sorry.
No, it's fine, it's fine.
Lucy didn't
Alyssa.
show up. Lucy was a no-show.
Lucy was a no-show. I'm sorry, Alyssa.
It's all good.
So when you went to the show, like, did you know that it was being filmed? Were there any like telltale signs, or did they tell you ahead of time?
No, I had no idea. Like, I was just such like, because it was my first meet and greet, so I was just like such on like a high of that like I could barely process what was going on around me.
Yeah.
So, but
So the first meet is over the top. Like you do lose your mind a little bit and forget what's going on.
wait, what was that? Sorry.
I said the first meet and greet you do is you lose your mind a little bit. Like you kind of forget life exists for a second.
Yeah.
It's hard to kind of get your bearings afterwards and like, okay, I get to take in a whole show now, right?
Yeah.
Donnie, did you have any questions for Alyssa?
Well, I was here to listen. I wasn't really here to interrupt.
Okay. So we'll keep
her.
asking. You just, you're just a fly on the wall right now.
Yeah, I'll chime in. I
Okay.
chime in. I'm known to chime in, so don't
Although
worry.
I had a couple of questions in my back pocket ready if you were to join. So
It's up to
don't
Alyssa.
get too
It's her
comfortable.
time. If she wants me to talk
I
while
don't
she's here,
care.
I will. It's up. Yeah. All right. Whatever you guys want.
Well, Alyssa, what was your favorite part of the documentary? Like, what was like an interesting piece of information that you learned, or something you thought was funny?
I don't know. I liked it all. It was all really cool, and it was really cool to see how Donnie was like kind of like in charge of a lot of the stuff that was like behind the scenes and in the making of the tour. I thought that was really cool to see. So
We love we love to see what goes on behind the scenes. I think I've said that already like a few times, but it's so true. And like, Donnie, I think I've asked this, I've asked you this once before, but if you don't mind telling us again, what are you guys listening to in the in-ears?
Oh. Okay. So. Oh, my dog. My little doggy's going crazy. Come here. I gotta throw her a toy so she'll let me talk. Hold on a second. She wants to. You're gonna hear a squeaky ball for the next 10 minutes.
That's okay. We're used to that in the lives. You're just gonna wake up my dog.
Go.
Oh my God.
She'll be okay for a few. Well, it's actually a lot of fun. So the show, first of all, the behind the scenes documentary was really, it's really only a fraction of what goes on, so there's so many details that we'll do in a later documentary, because I've sort of talked to the guys since this one was made and said we really got to do a long form one and get more into details.
Now my dog's wondering what's going on.
Yeah, your dog's hearing mine, of course.
Yeah, it's squeaky.
When Jenny and I FaceTime, our other dogs start barking and these ones start going, rah, rah, rah. Like, it's just chaos. But so sort of, for example, those doors that open at the beginning, the sort of light walls that reveal us and they reveal Salt and Pepper. For example, those were supposed to be automated. And when we got to Cincinnati for the final 3 days of rehearsal, because usually rehearsals in that other room that a lot of the video footage was in. And it's usually me and Danny and Kevin and Sonny are there. And then the other guys will join later. Joey wasn't able to join till Cincinnati, but in this instance. But those doors weren't automated.
Yeah, I feel like I noticed guys eventually pushing them open.
No, we had to get guys on the spot who had other jobs on the tour to now. So part of my job on this tour, outside of all the other stuff, became I had to literally sit there and teach them how to open the walls.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh no.
So the new kids in our ears, to answer your question and tie it to this other topic, is the entire show runs along with a computer. So the video is tied in, the lights are tied in. It's all pre-programmed, but in order to make it work cohesively every night, and typically if those walls were automated, for example, there would be a piece of computer information would tell those walls, okay, open. And they would have been pre-programmed to open, then pre-programmed to close.
Yeah.
But we didn't have that for those. But the lights, the video content, the music, they're all streaming together. So we have, because a lot of times we don't have a lot of time to rehearse, I'll do instructions in our ears.
Mm-hmm.
I'll pre-record those. So for example, there's a clip in the documentary where I'm calling off numbers for the sunglasses taking off at the beginning. Right.
Yeah.
So you have the shades.
Yeah.
There you go.
Mm-hmm.
So literally what you hear me saying on stage is what the guys hear in our ears. So you'll hear hold 2, 3, 4, head 2, 3, 4, hand 2, 3, 4, shades 2, 3. But I'll usually add other stuff. I'll do jokes and, you know, like on Right Stuff when we're jumping up and down, like that's still in our ears. We don't need it, but it's been there forever. So when we start jumping in our ears, we not only hear the music and the cues and stuff, you'll hear me yelling, jump, motherfucker, jump, let's go, freaking crazy. You know, nobody can hear it anymore. They tune it out. It's really, you know, our brains are sort of trained after all these years to sort of hear what we need to.
Okay.
And it's more there for like opening night and a few other things, or if you happen to get distracted and we have to hit a certain move a certain way. But like to do the old Right Stuff, for example, like we were so used to doing a certain ending to Right Stuff for so long that, oh my God, he's going hard. You know, it was different this tour to break everyone's muscle memory. We're so used to doing it one way.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's usually just instructions and reminders, count-ins. There's a little clip for Jordan when he was working on Baby I Believe in You, and you see me counting.
Yeah.
So he says, I believe in you. And I'm standing there and I go, 1, 2, 3. I'm literally counting the time. I was counting the time he had to get back, which is what he would hear in his ears on the tour, counting the time he had to sneak in the back while his light source was down.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
So he could change into his button up his shirt, put on his jacket.
Mm-hmm.
And at that same time, those counts were instructing the other new kids to come through their lighted up light sources and little windows in the video wall. So it's really just, we're getting instructions. And usually that's more for like the first few days and first week, because once everyone knows the show, they don't listen to what's going on in their ears anymore.
Then it becomes a new muscle memory, right?
You just learn it, you know, but it's like sometimes it's a lot, you know, when we're doing the choreography and we're learning the stage is different every tour. A lot of the positioning of where we go is different, you know. Sometimes the music is the same, but so many other things change that first night when you add fans into the mix, and now, you know, I'm noticing, oh, there's so-and-so. I know you from Texas. Oh my God, thanks for that wristband at meet and greet. You know, we're interacting with the audience so much that it's easy to lose your bearings.
Right.
And for certain key moments, we just want to make sure we know where we're supposed to be and what we're supposed to do. So I'm chirping in everyone's ear for a lot of the show.
I have a wardrobe question about you, for you. How do you not like overheat? Because you're wearing like, okay, the shiny pants, the pleather pants, the sweaters, the jackets, and there's like fire. I mean, I just get like overheated, you know, in a few different ways, but like, how do you not get like hot? Because you're dancing around too. Like,
I've gotten singed by the flames before. Let's just put that. I have definitely gotten singed.
You flew a little too close to the fire, or a little too close to the sun. Yeah.
I will never have to wax my arm hairs, put it that way. They don't exist anymore from touring. Yeah, I don't know. I don't really. I think a lot of the buildings are air conditioned.
Like, are there fans on stage that are facing you that are
No,
feeding?
only for Baby I Believe in You. For
Right.
Jordan's
Okay.
shirt. That's about it.
Frank just said that's why you throw your clothes.
What's that?
Frank just said that's why you throw your clothes. Because it's so hot. That's why you guys are taking your clothes off throughout the whole thing.
And actually, speaking of those like tosses, like thinking of the cane, right? When you toss it and when like the guy throws it to you, like during the tour, were there any like mishaps where?
Well, speaking of Frank, I know everyone loves Frank.
Yeah.
And
Mhm.
Frank was never really with me in the audience, but he was in the pay-per-view. He got a lot of shout outs, I noticed. But he usually didn't hang out with me in the audience. But you know, when he did is when we would finish the Whisper and Shout and Vogue would start their set, I would stay and do selfies the entire Never Gonna Get It. I would stay in the back of the house and take pictures with everybody as much as I could. So Frank was always with me, and I'd always run through the wrong tunnel to get back to my scooter to ride backstage and get changed in time for the next set. So Frank would always go, "Where you going? You went," so he just followed me because I'd be like, "I'm going this way," and I would run in the hallway, and we'd be in there, and I'm like, "Where's my scooter?" He was like, "Dude, I told you 8 times we're going the other tunnel." But no, we just sometimes guys need certain things at a certain moment. So, for example, when we're doing hip swing and stuff like that, somebody is running out on the stage and presetting our flashlights for Twisted.
Yep.
Right. So one night the flashlights weren't there.
Oh.
I remember that.
That was bad. That was bad. That was like, in some things it doesn't matter. If sometimes something goofs up, it's like, all right, we just keep going. We'll actually enjoy it. Twisted, was not good because you need the flashlights, right? And I think it might have been in LA the first time it happened twice. It was also like so blockheads react a certain way to everything, right? And it's usually loud. So when there's always these moments of trepidation when the blockheads aren't loud. And that usually means they're listening closely or they're watching closely. And so that whole set was really fun and everybody really loved it, the D-Nice DJ set. But it was also a little quieter than the rest of the show, right? Because everybody's really watching and paying attention to what was happening, and it was kind of new, and it was like, oh shit, I want to see what this is. What's this? So it made it a little more like cringy for us. Like me and Joey looked at each other in the dark, and I was like, and I'm yelling in the mic, "Where's the flashlights?" Trying not to let the audience know they were missing, but they were missing, and somebody ran out and handed them to us, like from the front row, like next to the bar stools, like they were handing them to people in the bar stool seats who were handing them up to us. But like there's cues that we all work out, like when I take off my jacket at the start of Girls Just Want to Have Fun, and at the my leather vest at the start of CoverGirl, Frank is always standing right behind the bar stools on the right, and I would just throw it and wouldn't even look. And then one night I went to throw it on Girls Just Want to Have Fun, and he wasn't there. I didn't see him. And I literally threw it, and he wasn't there. And I was like...
and so all the blockheads like die for it?
Yeah, they're, I think, they're always respectful. Nobody's like going to fight over the jacket and stuff. Yeah. It's usually pretty cool. I think people that are really close to the stage kind of get used to what's happening, so they know like, oh, okay, this guy's going to hand him this cane right now, and they might enjoy seeing that there's little people actually making all this stuff happen, so somebody, it's funny thing is someone would hand me the cane every night at the same spot in Return of the Mac, but most people didn't even notice. No, that was Dominic. That was Dominic. Dominic is actually it was his first tour ever, and he was just there to assist me and Tara when we got to Cincinnati for 3 days. And when the automatic doors didn't work, we were short one roadie to open them. And so he was sitting with Tara, getting ready to like go do an errand or something. And I was like, we need a person. Can you do it? And he said, all right, I'll do it. And they tried him out that day. Our stage manager, who's in the documentary briefly, Terry, he's like Beyonce's stage manager and stuff. He's like one of the great guys in the business. He gave Dominic like a 48-hour trial and was like, this guy's going to be great. He's hired. So Dominic was like, well, I guess I'm not going home. His 3-day trip turned into 3 months.
Yeah, that kind of threw a wrench in his life plans for a while, but
he's happy. He's happy.
Yeah.
He's on another tour already. He's all in now.
Okay, so here's my question. The Sweet Dreams segment with the green lights and the flashlights, was that all you, or did anyone else have input on that? Because that was
well,
top-notch.
I kind of figured it out, like literally it's in like 5 minutes, honestly. But Joey had performed Sweet Dreams that way with Twisted, so it's not like the idea was born from nowhere, right? So
Yeah.
I was thinking of doing like a medley section in that window of the concert, and as it was getting closer, just something was telling me it's not good enough. Just a medley of songs, sort of like we did at Fenway, for those who saw Fenway.
Mm-hmm.
I just kept thinking it's not good enough. Like the opening is great, the whole sort of TV show intro thing came out great. Like everything was working great, and it was late in the process, and I just realized this medley is not up to par. Like we need to come up with something new. And I had already done some of those mashups, like the remix mashup with I Want Your Love by Chic. So I'd already done that. That was already done just for fun. I do a lot of these mashups and stuff to like use on the cruise, or maybe put out a 70s disco mashup album of New Kids or whatever. So I was always wanting to use it, but I just started thinking maybe somewhere in that remix world is where we should build a set. So I started just working backwards from remix, and Twisted was sort of in the vault as having already been a cool mashup. And so I sort of, when I just started, I don't know what happened. I was sitting with Crunchy, and we were in my house, and I was trying to put the set together to see if it's something we should really pursue or just put it to bed and stick with the medley. And I don't know what happened, but I had watched the video for Relax by Frankie Goes to Hollywood somewhere during the process of doing the Bring Back the Time video as a potential vignette to pay homage to in the video.
Yeah.
And they didn't do anything like this, but he did have a flashlight, you know, in the video. And there was like a laser or something in the video too. And for some reason, I don't know why, I literally, when it was playing, it must have just been in the back of my mind somewhere. And I literally just said to Crunchy, I was like, all right, we're going to have flashlights and lasers. And he was like, what are you talking about? And I was like, I don't know, man. We're going to go, it cuts, scars, bruises, hearts. We're going to do choreography with the flashlights. And we're going to light each other up. And whoever sings, we're going to put the light on them. And then we're going to do choreography. And the lasers are going to do it with us. Like, it just, I don't know. It just came out of me.
There's like a picture from Frankie Goes to Hollywood.
Right. So, yeah. So it just, when that idea happened, it was like, okay, now this is like, this set is gaining steam. Then we talked about, you know, Return of the Mac, mashing up with Full Service. Well, we were looking for something to mash up with Full Service, and Return of the Mac just, it matched keys. So we were just matching songs to keys or doing mashups we had already tried. And but as far as Twisted, it just, honestly, it just happened. Like, I just saw it. And I don't know if anyone got what I was saying. So it was really important then when we got to rehearsal for me and Kevin and Sonny to get the flashlight part down before the other guys showed up, because Joey like really loves to do Twisted, Sweet Dreams, the way he used to do it. And for him, it was like, if we're going to do that, let's do it at a higher level. Like, we can't, any step down is going to be not cool for him, you know? And it would be not cool for me as well. But I kept telling him, don't worry, it's going to be better. It's going to be better. You know, you won't be shirtless, but it's going to be better. And
you will be wearing shoes as well.
Yeah. And finally, exactly, when I was able to play it for him on my phone and show him what it looked like, he was like, I get it. This is awesome. But like sometimes that's what it takes. It's like sometimes I can tell an idea and people will get it, but in reality, it's better for me to execute the idea and present it. You know, I've learned over the years, like I'm an idea person. So in the old days, I learned in 1989, 1990, if we were getting ready for a tour, we had a lot of input back then. Like Jordan and I would do tons of the